So what is going on, guys? I am Black Ops Amazing. Welcome back to another Zombies video, another Q&A where we take your questions from the comment section below to do with the Zombies storyline, Easter eggs, and answer them. As always, if you do go on to enjoy today's video, drop a like rating if you want to. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest videos on the channel, but let's get right into it. Here we go. So the first question of today from Z Ghosts says, since everything changed because of the events of Blood of the Dead, what happened to Maxis and Sophia? Would Sophia still be stuck in Gorod Krovi? So obviously, as you said, since Blood of the Dead takes place, which happens just after Zetsubou no Shima and before Gorod Krovi, that means that the two maps, Gorod Krovi and Revelations, don't happen. We know that during the 1940s, specifically Kino der Toten, Sophia, who was Dr. Maxis's assistant, was attacked by a zombie. She became infected and would slowly begin to turn, and so Maxis, who was in love with Sophia, in order to save her, he killed her and then transferred her brain into a machine, which kind of reminds me of Origins when Richtofen killed Maxis in order to save him. But getting back to it, once Sophia had been put into a robot, she was then transferred to Gorod Krovi to oversee Group 935's operations, where she would assist them in their work. However, a couple of years later, as we know, World War II raged on, the Battle of Stalingrad became worse and worse, and it turned into a three-way conflict between not only the Russians and the Germans, but the dragons, machines, and the undead. And eventually, with all of the humans working and living here being killed, without any remaining survivors in the city, this meant that Sophia was now trapped. And as we know, when our Primus crew travel to Gorod Krovi, part of completing the Easter egg, part of their journey, one of their quests there, is them freeing Sophia. We release her. And so since Gorod Krovi is no longer happening because of Blood of the Dead, yes, that should mean that Sophia is trapped forever potentially in Gorod. I should also say what happened to Maxis. Well, at this point, he was in the house, so he should still be there. Nothing really should have changed with him, but us breaking the cycle definitely does affect Sophia. Of course, as we know, it also affects Ultimus Nikolai since we don't travel to Gorod. We don't have his soul inside of the summoning key. He is the only one we don't have. And then it's also going to be interesting to see what's going to happen to, as you said, Maxis and the children. The next question from Levi Davis says, hey BOA, in the Zetsubou no Shima trailer, why does Richtofen get sucked or killed by the brute? That sounds a bit weird, but you're basically trying to say, why does Richtofen get eaten by the Thrasher? So yes, if we go and take a look at one of the trailers for this map, we can see Richtofen is down on the floor. He's crawling away as a Thrasher's chasing him. You can see he's struggling. The Thrasher catches up, it grabs hold of Richtofen, pulls him in, and then kind of sucks him in, it eats him. We can see Richtofen eaten by the Thrasher in the trailer, and actually, if you go into game, you can also see this happen. If you play this map on co-op and you go down near a Thrasher, it will eat you. Now, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I believe the only way you can escape is if your teammates kill the Thrasher. What exactly does this mean though? Well, it's just another way of these trailers showing us that our characters have died many times before during this cycle. We know that for every map our characters have been to, whether it's Der Eisendrache, Zet, Gorod, Revelations, Richtofen, Takeo, Nikolai, and Dempsey have died multiple times in different ways. In the Zetsubou no Shima trailer, we can see our characters have died multiple times in this map. In one scenario, we can see that Takeo has killed his teammates. We see Nikolai and Dempsey lying dead in front of him on the floor. We don't know why he would have done this, maybe out of anger. We know that this is his map. They are coming here to kill the Ultimus version of him. Possibly this time around he didn't want it to happen and so tried to stop it by killing his crew members. Our characters have died many times. It's just that every time they do, the cycle is reset and they are sent back to the beginning of that map, I believe by Dr. Monty, until we complete the quest we set out to do. And we've also seen these same things happen in other trailers like Revelations or Gorod Krovi, where we see Ultimus Nikolai kills our characters. He basically, I think it was Richtofen that he throws off the rooftop, and then he shoots Dempsey. So yeah, it's a simple one to answer. It is quite strange seeing our characters getting eaten by the Thrasher, but it does happen, and every time our characters die, the loop or the cycle on this map is reset, and they are sent back to the beginning remain until they complete what they are there to do. At least we know that was the case before the cycle was broken. The next question says, hey BOA, why are there green chunks of 115 in Origins? Love your videos, keep up the good work, and my name is pronounced Karl Marx. That's why I didn't say it, I didn't know how to pronounce it, but why are there green chunks of 115 in Origins? Well, we've never been given a definitive answer. There are blue, orange or yellow if you want to call it that, and then green. There are 3 different colours of 115. Why exactly that is, we don't know. Why there's just not one colour and there is 3, I am unsure. Whether it's anything of importance, again, I don't know. The colours literally could mean nothing. They're all the same. They're all element 115. They all work in the same way, just you can get it in different colours. It was kind of strange because on the original Shi No Numa, the 115 Meteor was orange, whereas on the remastered version, the 115 Meteor is blue. Why Treyarch decided to change it, I'm not sure. I mean, it does seem like the remastered version could be in a fractured dimension, but yeah, it's never really been explained to us. And actually, 115 itself, apart from what we learn in the game, we've never been given a full description as to how it works. All we know is that it came down from the sky, from space, crash landed onto Earth, and then humans used it in experiments. It's never really being explained to us exactly how it works, what it contains, what it's made of, what the different colours mean. I'd love to get an explanation of it, but as of right now, we don't know. So all I can say is the colours mean nothing and they're all the same, or there is a difference, but we don't know. Lucky Joe says, hey BOA, who is the guy in the Panzer suit? Simple answer, that is a 115 employee. As we know, these Panzer soldat suits were used by Group 935 during World War I for excavating elements 115 from the ground, and they were mechanical suits that 115 employees would get into and then operate them. So the person inside the suit is a 115 employee that became infected with 115. So basically it's a zombie inside that's operating the suit. LolXD says, so which Richthofen actually came to Area 51 in the classified Easter egg? Through the portal. Now, a lot of people actually get confused because obviously Classified takes place after Blood of the Dead. In Blood of the Dead, we can clearly see Richthofen sacrifices himself on the dark mechanism. He sits in it, his blood gets taken, it is eventually drained out, which kills Richthofen. He dies in Alcatraz. Yet in the map after that, Classified, we can see Primus Richthofen is alive again. He comes through the portal with the Primus version of Takeo, Nikolai and Dempsey. So your question is, which version of Richthofen is this? We saw him die previously, so how is he back? Well, as I've said many times before, there are hundreds of different versions of Richthofen. Since there are hundreds, thousands, we don't exactly know how many, but there are many different universes out there containing our characters. So there are plenty of versions of Richthofen, but the question is, which version of him is this that we see? Now, we do know in Blood of the Dead there was post-Revelations Richthofen. He was locked in the cryogenic chamber in the lab. That was until finally he was awoken. He came upstairs with the fire crystal and cleansed the Alcatraz universe of all of the evil. As we know, post-Revelations Richthofen then gave the Canorium to Nikolai, smashed the blood vials before leaving through a separate rift to the Primus crew. So it's possible that this is post-Revelations Richthofen. Of course, he's wearing different clothes, so you could say, and to me it doesn't really make sense, but you could say that he changed clothes back to what he would usually wear. But personally, I don't think this is him. I actually think this is the other version of Richthofen that we saw in the Blood of the Dead intro cutscene. Because as we saw in that, the two Richthofens met under the laboratory. The one that was already here gave the Canorium to the Richthofen that had just arrived, the one that would kill himself. As we can see, he smiled kind of suspiciously and then walks away through the rift, never to be seen again. He leaves Richthofen trapped with the Primus crew, knowing that they are going to die. So I think the Richthofen that left blood through the rift, this is him. I think he knew all along that he's going to come back and take this Richthofen's place. It's difficult to explain, obviously, because there's so many versions of them, but basically the Primus Richthofen that we see in the classified ending, I think is the one that we saw already in the laboratory first in the Blood of the Dead intro. Like I said, it could be a different version since there are many others, but personally I think it's him. Let me know your thoughts down below. But anyway guys, there we go. That is all I have for you for today's video. As always, hopefully you have enjoyed. If you have, you know what to do. Drop a like rating. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest videos on the channel. Thank you all for watching. Leave your comments down below and I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, goodbye.